So today we have to start from copy and apply formatting. In the last class, we have already discussed about how to give borders to the page, how to give shading to the paragraph. First topic today which we have to learn is copy and apply formatting. So I'm opening MS Word first and I'm going to copy a paragraph from here. And paste it in MS Word. I'm going to do some changes with this paragraph. Font style should be this. Size should be 15. Line spacing should be 1. And it should be in a purple color. This color. Okay. So this is the formatting which I have applied on my text. Now I'm going to copy and paste something else on this page. Again, maybe I have pasted the same thing. Now what I want is I wanted to apply the same formatting style because now I don't remember which font I have chosen, what was the size of this text, and how much space I have given in between my lines. So I wanted to apply the same formatting style to my rest of the content of the page. So how can we do that? We can just select 2, 3 words or a paragraph, anything, and then go to home tab format painter button. This is a button using which you can not only copying the content of the page. We cannot copy the content of the page using this button. We can copy the formatting style, the color, the size, and the writing style. All these formatting features we can copy and we can apply it anywhere else. Like here, now I'm selecting the other paragraph. So this is how we have to paste. How we have done this? I wanted to apply the same formatting for the second paragraph also. So what I'll do is first you have to select your first paragraph, then go to the format painter button. Automatically it will copy the formatting style of the previous paragraph, and now you can apply this feature to your second paragraph like this. So this is how we can copy the formatting style of some text and apply it somewhere else. Okay, next topic is after copy and apply formatting. Next topic is adjusting the page margins. How can we adjust the page margins? Now, what is page margin? First of all, page margin is useful when you have to print your page and you want to fit the content on a single page, and your content is going out of the page and still you wanted to fit on a single page. Suppose I'm just taking an example. Maybe it's not a circular for any class, but maybe suppose I am typing few circulars for your class and I wanted to cut these circulars and distribute in your whole class. Now I want that these circulars, I wanted to paste these because maybe I have 40 students in my class and I wanted to paste the whole content 40 times. So what I'll do is maybe I am going to change the color of this text. Okay, now I'm going to copy this circular and paste it here. Okay, now these circulars I wanted to print 40, I wanted to copy 40 times, copy and paste 40 times so that I can distribute it to all 40 students. Now what I'll do is I'll copy this whole content and paste it. Okay, as you can see now on my first page, I am able to copy this circular for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 times, but fifth time the circular was not complete, so I will not be able to distribute it in my class in a proper way, because the half of the circular is coming on my previous page and half of the circular is going to the next page. So for this I need to adjust the margins so that my at least 5 circulars can appear on a single page, right? So for that, what I'll do, there are different ways to adjust the margin. First is you can just simply go to the ruler and you can drag this gray portion and decrease the size of this gray portion. Automatically, your content will be shifted up and your whole content will come on a single page. But still, as you can see, I'm not able to adjust my uh, last circular on the same page. So previously I have reduced the margins from top. Now I can also reduce it from the bottom. Now it is coming on. I am able to print my this page with at least 5 circulars so that I can distribute it to 5 students. This is one of the way. Second way is you can go to the page layout option and there is the option of margins. From here you can go to custom margins and you can adjust the space from top. I'm going to reduce it to 1.3 and from bottom also 1.3 and from left side also you can reduce. So I'm making it from right and left 0.5 and 0.3 from top, 0.3 from bottom. Okay. Now see, even I can paste one more circular now. So let's paste, copy and paste. So now I have already adjusted total 6 circulars on a single page. So this could be done with the help of setting of margins. We can adjust anything by arranging our margins for a single page, right? Next topic is, after adjusting margins, next topic is adding header and footer. Now, what is header and footer? Header is a text which always remains same, which you can insert at the top of your every page. The same text will be visible on every page. Like suppose if you are creating a chapter or if you are designing a book. So in that book, you want to give the name of the book or maybe the name of the chapter at the top of every page. So, and the chapter name or the book name will remain same for the whole book. So that can be done with the help of headers. And similarly, if you want to insert something at the bottom of the page and which you want that it should remain common for all the pages, that can be added with the help of footers. Now let's see how to insert header and footer. I am opening a Word file of this chapter now. So this is the Word file of my chapter, MS Word. Now I wanted to give a common header, that is Microsoft Word, to every page, which I wanted to write at the top of every page. And I wanted to insert the page numbers at the bottom. So page numbers I can add with the help of footer, and chapter name I can add with the help of header. Now, how can we add headers and footer? For that, you have to go to the page layout tab, sorry, insert tab, and there is the option of header. Go to header, click on the header, choose these are the different templates of header. You can choose any of the template which you wanted to insert. So these are the different designs. So suppose I am going to insert this one. Here you can write the name of the book maybe, or the chapter. So suppose the name of my book is Computer World, and I want that the name of the book should appear on every page, at the top of every page. Computer World Class 6. So I want that this heading should appear at the top of each page of my book. And here you can type the year also. So that we can remember this book was printed in the year 2021. Okay, now I'm going to add the footer, and I wanted to add page numbers as a footer of the page. So go to insert tab, there is option of footer. You can choose the style of footer. These are the different styles. So suppose I wanted to add the page numbers like this. So now the page numbers is added. Now let's check. We have to check that footer should appear at the bottom of every page, and page numbers should be different for all the pages, and header should appear at the top of every page, and the content of the header should remain common for all the pages. Now let's go down. Now the this is my first page only, page number 1 it is, and on page number 2 at the top it is coming the same, Computer World Class 6, the name of the book, and the year is coming down, page down. This is page number 2 now. Here it is coming page number 2, and header is same, down. This is page number 3, and the header is same for the next page. Page number 4, and the header is same for the next page. So like this, you can add different headers and footers. Header will remain common for all the pages, and footer will always remain common for all the pages. But if you are inserting page numbers, then it will differ. So we can have one more method of inserting the page numbers. You can go to insert tab, and you can go to page numbers, and you can choose. There are different designs of page numbers. So you can choose the page numbers from here also. So that is your choice how you want it and which design you want for your page numbers. Right? So in this way. And now suppose if I wanted to remove this header and footer from my whole book. So you just have to simply go to the same option, header, and click on the option remove header. Similarly, remove footer. Now the headers and footers are removed. There is no page number and there is no header on each page. So what was the use of this header and footer? We can give a common text on every page. Even you can insert, like suppose if you are designing the report cards for all the students of a class, then the logo you want to insert at the top of every page, then you can do this with the help of header only. So I'm going to insert an image now, this time in the header. Suppose I wanted to choose this header, and instead of the text, I am going to insert an image. Go to pictures, choose the image which you wanted to insert. So I'm just choosing a random picture. Maybe let's say this is the header of my page, or maybe this is the logo of the school. So insert. Wait, I have to choose a different type of header this time to insert a picture. Here I wanted to insert the picture instead of this text, the logo. Now the logo is inserted at the in the header. Now we can check on every page we have this logo of tree. So in the same way, you can insert the logo of your school or logo of your company in the header. Next is, and if you wanted to remove it, then go to insert, go to header and click on remove header simply. Next is after header and footer. Next topic is adding page numbers. We have already seen. Removing headers and footers we have seen. Next is how to insert page break. Now what is page break and what is the use of page break? Page break means I wanted to shift my rest of the content to the next page. Normally, like suppose if you are writing, you if suppose if you are developing a book, or you are creating a book, or maybe some other invitation cards or anything, and half of the content you wanted to display on your first page and rest of the content you wanted to display on your next page. So normally in what we do, we used to press enter and shift the content to the next page like this. But this is not the correct way of doing. Why this is not a correct way? Now suppose if I'm adding something more on this page, let's say I'm adding few lines in the same paragraph or in the same text. So I've added this now. And as soon as I will add this content on my previous page, the content of the next page will also get shifted, because the space between or the enter key by, because you have shifted the content of the next page by pressing the enter key, right? But and the spaces between the content is increased, also automatically the next content which you have shifted on the next page will also get shifted. But so as I told you, this is not a correct way of doing. So how can we do that? We can do this by inserting a page break. How can we insert a page break? For that, you have to go to the page layout tab and there is an option of break. You can click on this option, and but before clicking on this option, you have to click on the text, after which, like after etc, I wanted to shift the next content to my next page. So you can place your cursor here and then click on page break. This is one method. Second method is using a shortcut key. You can press Ctrl plus enter and your content will be shifted to the next page. Now suppose if I'll add few more lines in my paragraph, copy and paste, this content will remain same. There will be, it will not shift on the next page. Why? Because we have inserted a page break. Even I can insert this paragraph many times, still there will be no change in the content of next page. It will remain there. So this is helpful for creating a book. Like suppose you have already developed the first chapter and rest of the content belongs to second chapter. So before starting your second chapter, you can press Ctrl plus enter, or you can add a page break, so that if you will add few more things in your chapter number 1, it will not affect your chapter 2. Your chapter 2 will remain there on the next page as it is from the beginning of the page only. So this is a feature of MS Word using which you can insert page break. Next is after page break, there is the option of column break also. We can also insert a column break. What is that? Now suppose I wanted to convert my this paragraph into 2 columns or 3 columns. I can again go to page layout. There is the option of column. You can choose how many columns you wanted to divide this paragraph into how many columns. Like this this could be helpful in designing of newspaper or designing of magazines. You can write your content into columns, like two columns I'm choosing. So this is how I can place my content in two parts, in two columns, like this. Half of the content will appear here, and then half of the content will appear here. In the same way, you can convert it into three columns or four columns also. Or maybe if you wanted to display lesser content on the left side and you wanted to display more content on the right side, you can choose this option. So this is how you can do the division for the creation of newspapers and magazines. Next is, after column break, if you want to display your content in a normal way as it was previous, you can choose one option. It will appear in your previous form only in a single paragraph also, right? And how to delete a page break which we have inserted. Now here I have inserted a page break and I have shifted the content to the next page, and I wanted to delete this page break. So I just need to press the delete key. The content will automatically shift on my previous page. Clear? This is how we can remove page break also. Next is, okay, next topic is uh, inserting styles and themes in MS Word. So this topic we will be doing it in the next class.